كل ما اقتربوا منها احترقوا وأمريكاش. يعني هو مفتكر أنه دينار أوقدت في شأن الله سبحانه وتعالى، والأعداء حولها ثاني مرة ثانية يعني حيموتوا حولها.
بيعة قدير ما كان فيها أي حاجة دنيوية، فدي المهدي كان داير يخلي الناس يتجهوا لأنه ثورتهم دي قايم بها دي من أجل تحرير الوطن، من أجل الدين ومن أجل الوطن، ما من أجل المال ولا من أجل السلطة. عشان كده قلوب الناس تعلقت بهم وتعلقت بالثورة.
عاش السيد الصادق المهدي.
From his Aba Island stronghold, the Mahdi confronted the Egyptian authorities. He sent this message to the capital, Khartoum.
I declare that I am the expected Mahdi. He who follows me will be victorious. He who refuses will be punished by God. He who does not believe will be purified by the sword.
Egypt's reply to the Mahdi was equally blunt. 2 steamers packed with Egyptian troops were ordered by the British to drag him back to Khartoum in chains. The force arrived near Aba, where on the night of August the 12th, 1881, it promptly blundered into a trap.
الإمام المهدي عليه السلام وزع ناس وديل من الثلث الأخير من الساعة 1-2 بالليل حول المنطقة دي بغالي، وعملوا قوس كده وخلوا البحر هنا كاشف. أبو سعود لما جاب البابور بتاعه جا وقف هنا المنطقة دي، ذاك محل البابورات بتاعته وقف هناك. فحينما خلاص امتلكوا قدام الناس طلعوا الناس من جوا الغابة وقالوا الله أكبر. حينما كبروا الناس كل الجهات انطبقت على هؤلاء الجنود، فحصلت المعركة ما أخذت أكثر من 3 ساعة. انفردت المعركة، اللي رجع البابور والهولي كوليك وفيهم الجزء قالوا لحقوا المنجرة.
The soldiers of the Egyptian army had been massacred by a mere 300 sword-wielding Mahdists.
This is the most important battle in the history of the Mahdiya. Why? Because if that battle, if the Mahdi was defeated in that battle, that was the end. If he succeeded, that was the beginning. He has to come. Other battles were more victories, but that was the beginning. That was the turning point in the military history of the Mahdiya.
It didn't hurt the Mahdi's reputation that his victory matched almost exactly the description of the Battle of Al-Badr in the Quran. At the Battle of Al-Badr, the Prophet Muhammad had 313 fighters. The Mahdi had just over 300. Both battles took place on the 17th day of Ramadan. When the news of the victory spread, it is said that Muslims came from all over Africa to join the fight against the infidels.
There was support in Egypt, there was support in North Africa, there was support in India, there was support all over the Muslim world who thought that this was a banner under which to fight.
The idea was flourishing. The Mahdi is coming, because the idea of the Mahdi itself implies hope for the future, the expected Mahdi.
More victories followed, but back in London, the press was dismissive. Like so many troubles on the fringes of the empire, the Mahdi was an annoyance that would soon go away. The Times reported that
the town of El Obeid, with its garrison, was unconditionally surrendered to the Mahdi on the 17th. Dissension is, however, stated to exist among the false prophet's followers, and many are expected to join the government troops when they advance.
the British government was far more concerned with its substantial investments in Egypt. Sudan seemed entirely peripheral, but that was all about to change. Following the debacle at Abba Island, the Egyptians ensured that their next attempt to destroy this troublesome fundamentalist would be led by an Englishman, one of the British Empire's most experienced troubleshooters, Colonel William Hicks. On September the 9th, 1883, Hicks's force of 7,000 men left Omdurman, entered the unforgiving arid landscape, and slogged into Kordofan province's thorny Shekan forest.
But Shekan was led by this British officer, and the idea was that this was the battle that was going, this was the campaign that was going to finish the Mahdi and his movement.
In fact, Hicks and his Egyptian soldiers were once again comprehensively outfoxed by the Mahdi.
They meet a continuous march of attrition right from the start. I mean, the Mahdi appointed people who would harass the army throughout its march westwards. It is this continuous attrition that really did the job of demoralizing Hicks's army, of preparing them really for their fate.
As this official Sudanese reconstruction celebrates, hundreds of miles into the desert, Hicks and his 7,000 men died in the slaughter. To the Sudanese, the victory at Shekan made the Mahdi seem infallible. As he strengthened his grip on the country, the Mahdi began to introduce Islamic Sharia law. Even by the standards of the time, the Mahdi's rules were strict.
As far as women go, they should control their desires, confine themselves to home, and not go out unless strictly necessary. A woman with uncovered hair, even for the blink of an eye, deserves 27 lashes. He who calls a fellow Muslim a dog, a pig, a Christian, or a sodomite should be punished with 80 lashes and 7 days imprisonment. The penalty for a man caught talking to a woman who is not his relative is 27 lashes. Smiling, chewing, or sniffing tobacco all deserve 80 lashes.
Widowed or divorced women caught having sex were executed by burying them to their necks in the earth as horsemen galloped over them until they were dead. The slave trade was immediately legalized. The Mahdi sent letters around the world proclaiming his divine status and invoking a global jihad. Now, finally, he was a threat, and he had the attention of the world.
The danger of the movement led by my grandfather at the time was that it promised to undo all the designs by the European powers against the world of Islam and against Africa. And it indicated the danger of a revolt which could entice Muslims to uprise and also entice Africans to overthrow the colonialist regime. And therefore, it was necessary to sniff it out in order to stop this threat.
The Mahdi controlled the countryside. Now he had to rid Sudan of a city that was the epitome of evil. The Mahdi had to take Khartoum.